It's NFL playoff time, baby. We got 2 games. Let's talk some pigskin. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven. Here we go, baby. It is NFL player time. This video is going to talk about the 2 Saturday playoff games. It's wide open in the NFL. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk some futures in this video. We got a lot to get over, but just a quick reminder, we're going to have another video out for the Sunday games and then another video out Sunday night like usual for the Monday night playoff game. So 3 different videos. This is the first one. I'm ready to go. But before we get into all that, just want to remind you about the new hub of the channel, justabetoutside.com. Just talk to the developers of the website and all that. We got betting contests coming very soon. We're going to be doing weekly betting contests where you can win cash prizes, all that kind of stuff. And here's everything else you get. Obviously, email notifications right when I post a bet. It goes right to you, and much more. The premium betting tools are something you don't get elsewhere. I mean, it is awesome. And we have a link, or we have a video up on our YouTube page also if you want to check it out, or reach out if you have any questions as well. But just a lot that we can offer with this website. So hopefully you guys join. I'm in the chats every night sweating out bets as well. So that's what we got for the site. Now, let's get right into it. We got a little dad joke. Here we go. It's for the ladies. Ladies, if he can't enjoy your fruit jokes, it's time to let that man go. That was interesting. In this video, we're going to recap Week 18. I'll do it real quick, but we have not done that yet. To finish off the season, I'm going to give you all the trends for the Saturday playoff games, and then I'm going to give you my 2 playoff future bets, and then we're going to preview, give best bets for the Rams and Panthers, preview and give best bet for the Packers and the Bears, and we'll finish it with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that hype button if you're on mobile. Really helps this channel grow and be sent out to more people on YouTube. Also, just leave a comment if you have anything to say about these games or an emoji, whatever it is. Appreciate you guys. And then, of course, come join the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. I'm ready to get it rolling, though. And that means it's recap time. All right, here is the final regular season recap. It was a small winning day on Sunday, but game bets 1 and 2, which I felt like I did every single week down the stretch. But Bengals minus 7.5, they sucked. Saints plus 3.5, get the job done at the end. The under Baltimore-Pittsburgh looked great until they went absolute bonkers in the late fourth quarter. But player props, which carried us all year, a nice, 2-2 day there, a nice 3-2 day there. Michael Wilson, my only 1-unit play, he is absolutely good. I'll just say that. He's a stud. Estime over 47.5 rush yards, got the job done, wearing him down, got it finally in the second half. Cam Ward had a great first possession, and then he got hurt. It was looking good, but, can't do anything about an injury. And then Stroud and Caleb Williams. Stroud had 169 pass yards at halftime, and then gets yanked because the Jaguars were killing the Titans, and they thought, I don't want to put my starters out there. I knew that was a chance. It happens, but that would have been an easy win. Trey Lance over 31.5 rush yards. He got the job done as well. It took a while. He was not good as a quarterback, but he got the job done with his legs. And anytime touchdowns, Nico was a healthy scratch, but we went 0-2 on the 2 quarter-unit plays. Burden didn't score, then Lawrence. I almost went Parker Washington, which would have cashed, but either way. That's what we got for Week 18 recap. Now let's check out the overall season record. 145 and 125, we won 13.12 units. Had a great stretch from like week 9 to week 14, and it was kind of just even. Other than that, throughout the other weeks of the season, I was hoping to get to 20 at least, but you know what? We'll take it. Profit is profit. Up 13 units on the year. Let's have a good NFL playoffs now. So that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk those trends. All right, you guys know I like to do some trends, and here's all the trends. This is just for these 2 games on Saturday with some just playoff info as well. Carolina, the biggest home underdog in playoff history. That's pretty wild to me. They're also the first team in the Super Bowl era to make the playoffs after not winning 1 single game as a favorite. All 8 were as an underdog. That's also crazy. Carolina 8-0 against the spread after a loss this season, coming off a loss to Tampa Bay. That's pretty crazy too. Carolina's 16th team ever to make the playoffs, starting the year at 150-1 odds or higher to make the playoffs. First-time playoff quarterbacks versus quarterbacks with playoff experience are 20, 39, and 1 ATS and 20 and 40 straight up since 02. It hasn't been pretty for their first playoff start. We got 3 of those. Young versus Stafford, which is in one of these games. Caleb Williams versus Jordan Love, and then another one later on in the weekend, Drake May versus Justin Herbert. So we talked about this all year. Teams with 60% or more of the tickets this season, which means they're the public favorites. They went 70, 102, and 1 against the spread, 40.7%, the worst mark in the last 23 years. If you tailed the public, you struggled. All 6 wildcard games will be played outdoors. Since 2004, outdoor wildcard games are 49 and 23 to the under. That's a 68% hit rate to the under. At 41 or higher in those outdoor wildcard games, the under is an insane 42 and 14. That's insane. That's just wild to me. So that 41 or higher total in the outdoor, just the wildcard games for that one. Since 2017, underdogs 60 and 38 ATS. In the wildcard round, the underdogs are 27 and 15 ATS. And since 2011, double-digit underdogs are 5 and 13 ATS and 1 and 17 straight up in the playoffs. That's what we got for all the trends today. Now let's talk some futures. All right, it's the start of the playoffs. I want to talk 2 playoff futures that I threw a little bit of money on, and just to kind of talk through it. Curious to see who you guys like for futures, whether it's winning the conference or anything else. Leave a comment below. But my first one, Jaguars to win the AFC, plus 550 on DraftKings. This is a play on the number here. I mean, 5.5 to 1. They're just the 4th favorite in the AFC right now to go to the Super Bowl. So let's talk to the Jags. How about winning 8 straight? 13 and 4 on the season. Lawrence is finally playing like the number 1 pick. What doesn't get talked about much is their defense. They've allowed the 8th fewest points per game, and they're a top 3 defense versus the run like we've talked about all year. That's huge this time of the year in the playoffs. On top of that, this AFC is wide open. We're not dealing with the Ravens. We're not dealing with the Chiefs or anything like that. But obviously they play Buffalo. I still think they're kind of a weaker team. They're going to play them right out of the gates. But the teams ahead of them, Denver and New England, would you really be shocked if Jacksonville beat any of those 2 teams? New England had the 32nd ranked strength of schedule. Doesn't mean they're not a good team. But, I mean, these are not teams that we're just really worried about. In fact, Jacksonville just went into Denver and put up 34 points and won on them. Jags went 5 and 3 versus playoff teams this year. 2 of the losses were to the NFC teams, the Seahawks and the Rams, who I think are probably the best 2 overall teams in the NFL. At plus 550, I got a bite here for the Jags. I know it's Trevor Lawrence. I know it's a first-time head coach and all that. They're also plus 1,300 to win the Super Bowl. I wouldn't go that far, but quite yet. But, I mean, it might be worth a sprinkle, I guess. It's only one more game. But either way, Jags to win the AFC is my first playoff future. Second one, I had to get a little creative on the NFC side. NFC West to be the Super Bowl champion is plus 120 on DraftKings. So this is interesting to me because the NFC is also wide open, but the 2 favorites in the NFC, let's face it, they're the Rams and the Seahawks, both out of the NFC West. So we have 2 teams right there. We also get the 49ers also as well. I don't really think because of their defense they can really make it, but they're always a long shot. So you kind of got 2.5 teams, I guess, if you want to count it that way. But again, when you got 2 of the best overall teams and you're talking plus money, I do like this one. So again, Eagles are probably the only other side in or other team that you have to worry about. Their defense is legit. Can their offense turn it around? It's not easy to get back to the Super Bowl. But the tough part is if Seattle and the Rams play each other next round in the divisional round, obviously one of those teams gets knocked out. So we either need like a Packers win or a 49ers win, and then they would play the Seahawks, and then we can wait one more and at least have them play in the NFC title game, and you're already locked into one of those into the Super Bowl. So again, just got a little creative on that one. Plus 120 for the NFC West. Any team in that division to be the Super Bowl champion. So that's what I got for my 2 futures. Now let's talk the Rams at the Panthers. Alrighty, this first one takes us out to Carolina where the Panthers host the LA Rams. Rams minus 10.5. Total is 46.5. So let's preview this one, and then I got 2 best bets. Yes, the Panthers just beat the Rams a few weeks ago, 31-28. But we still have a huge spread. Panthers coming off 2 straight losses, backing into the playoffs with an 8-9 record. Rams ended the season by beating Arizona after losing 2 straight. So let's talk the injury report. Actually pretty good here. Rams tight ends Tyler Higbee is going to be in. Ferguson is questionable to play. They still have Colby Parkinson as well, obviously. Right guard Kevin Dotson is questionable. DN Braden Fisk is questionable. Panthers, no notable injuries, actually. They're pretty healthy, especially for the playoffs. Numbers, Rams are 5 and 3 ATS on the road. Panthers 5 and 3 ATS at home. Nothing big there. Rams were the number 1 over team in the NFL. Sorry, number 1 road over team in the NFL at 7 and 1. Panthers 4 and 4 on the over under at home. So that's what I got for a preview. We already went over all the trends. Let's talk my first best bet. I got 2 half unit plays. This one's ugly. Sorry. Panthers team total over 16.5. Minus 135 on DraftKings. I'm drinking some juice here. Why? because 17 is such a key number. I just need 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and now I get there. That's why I like this under 16 or getting it under 17 here. But I'm going to take the over here. Again, it can be scary backing this Carolina offense. I get it. The line is really low, though, for the home team. So first, it's a 10.5-point spread. I fully expect the Rams to score a lot of points, which will make the Panthers have to keep their foot on the gas pedal, maybe go for it on 4th down, be aggressive offensively, things like that. Panthers this season averaging just 18.29 points per game overall, and they're over in just 8 of 17 games at home. They're over in 5 of 8 games, averaging almost 21 points per game. Carolina scored 31 on the Rams a few weeks ago. Some of that was aided by some Stafford turnovers, but that was also a flat spot for the Rams and all that. I'm not expecting that again. But in that Rams game, Hubbard averaged 4.8 yards a carry. Young was 15 for 20, 206, and 3 touchdowns. Again, I'm not asking them to be awesome. I'm asking them to score 17. Facing the Rams defense. On the road this season, they actually haven't been as sharp. They've given up 22.3 points per game, still pretty solid, but nothing, that's crazy. In fact, since their Week 8 bye, here's what they've done on the road. Given up 27 to the Falcons, 38 to the Seahawks. Again, punt return in there as well. 17 to the Cardinals. That's all I need. 31 to this Panthers team and 26 to the 49ers. They've given up 17-plus points in 5 straight games on the road. The Rams, their run defense has struggled on the road, giving up 4.7 yards per carry, just 3.8 yards per carry at home. So a big difference there. We saw Hubbard have success. Maybe Dowdle can have success as well. And we could even cash this in garbage time. It could be, 30 to 10. Panthers drive down, get a touchdown, extra point, make it 30 to 17, and we cash it. So multiple ways to get there as long as they just don't absolutely crap the bed. I like the Panthers team total over 16.5. Now, the second one. Player prop, Blake Corum, over 9.5 rush attempts, plus 100 on FanDuel. Love this at even money here for a half unit. I thought about his over rush yards as well, but he's been awesome for the Rams down the stretch. And in fact, they've really used him quite a bit. Last 11 games, which is when he started to really be involved with the offense. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, over in 7 of the last 11. In one game, he left early to an injury, so it might have been 8 of the last 11. And also, as you can see, he had 11-plus rush attempts in 4 of the last 5 games. Now, the big reason, well, he's been effective, and that's important. You have to run the ball well in order to get more carries. In the last 5 games, if we take out that injured game, his average yards per attempt in each of those 5 games, 11.6, 10.7, 6.5, 3.4, and 4.5. And the 3.4 is against the number 1 run defense in the NFL in the Seahawks. I think he's going to be leaned on quite a bit again here with Kyren Williams, with how effective he's been. And they're facing the Panthers. Man, they have struggled versus the run. Bucky and White combined for 108. Charbonnet and Walker combined for 161. Bucky and White again combined for 116. Kyren and Corum, when they already played the Panthers, had 153 total. Corum had 81 rush yards against the Panthers in that game. He's had success, which means more carries. I think he's going to have more of that. Game script, again, I expect the Rams to be up by quite a bit. I think they're going to handle them fairly easily here. I don't see why he doesn't get 10-plus carries again. So give me Corum over 9.5 rush attempts. That is my second and final best bet for this first game. But before we get to that second game, let's kind of dive into KALSHI with this game and see what they have to offer. All right, here we are. We are talking Rams at the Panthers. This is KALSHI. If you guys don't know, it's the best prediction market out there. It's not even close. It's federally regulated in all 50 states. You guys know all that. We do trades of the day constantly on this one. We're in the NFL part of it, but obviously you can bet on politics, economics, movies, music, whatever it is you want. Just kind of want to do a little bit deeper dive on KALSHI here for the Rams Carolina. So as you can see, there's a history as to where this line has moved and everything like that. It's pretty straight for this playoff game, obviously. But you can start right here, 82%. I mean, 83 cents a contract obviously means it's a huge favorite. That's just betting the Rams on the money line. No one's really going to do that. But as you go down, obviously you can see spread in total as well, and you can change it. 10.5, 11.5, Rams favored. You can click on each one, see the contracts change and all that. And then you have the over-under. I mean, this is just like a sports book. You can bet an over-under, and then you put yes and all that kind of stuff. You want that or no. And then you go down, and this is what's really kind of grown for this site, is you got props. It starts out with team total, but if you click that down arrow, you can see there's touchdowns you can bet on, rushing yards, receiving yards, passing, receptions. It's really awesome. I mean, it doesn't have quite as much as the sports book yet, but I'm telling you, it's getting there. It's grown quite a bit. So you can just click on touchdowns, for example, and then you're on anytime touchdowns, and you can kind of hit see more, and you'll see more people. But you can just see it right there. I mean, 57 cents. If it's over 50 cents, that just means it's a favorite. And you can change the look of this site to show more odds instead of it like this as well. But you can just see all the different ones, 21 cents for Hubbard and all that kind of stuff as you scroll down and all that. So again, it's just one more thing that they have on this, and it's continuing to grow. And then you keep going down. It tells you, even if you're, this is helpful for maybe not here. It's pretty self-explanatory. But if you're betting climate on what they go off, here's how it wins. If they, this, et cetera, all that info. And then you go over all the way down to the bottom. You also got ideas and activities. So, I mean, ideas are, just comments from different people that are doing it, and you can kind of see what's been going on there. And then if you go back up to the top and you change it to activity, another thing, what people are buying. Some people are just bought yes on Green Bay and then sold no on Jacksonville. So that's another thing. You can buy and sell contracts, which is great. Especially, it's like mid-game. You just like, what, I want to get out of this, see what you can get, and sell your contract, and you're done. It's kind of like a cash out option. So it's awesome. Again, you're buying and selling contracts. One of the best prediction markets out there, like we've talked about before. We'll just place, we'll just look at what I would have done. Obviously, the Carolina Panthers is the bet that we gave out for the team total. If you go back to that, but the team total here, they have 14.5 and then 17.5. So they don't have the 16.5. Right now, I'm going to lay off of it for this one. I do think they still get to 18 plus, even though I said over 16.5. I think they get it done. So I may play this later. I already bet that 16.5 on a sports book. But again, just kind of want to show you guys, because I usually just do a quick trade of the day and then move on. But that's all the details of it. Hopefully you guys join. That link is in the description below. If you use that link to sign up, deposit your first $100 into your account, you get a $20 bonus credit. So that's what we got for KALSHI. Now let's talk game number 2. Alrighty, this second one takes us out to the Windy City, where the Bears host the Green Bay Packers. NFC North battle here. Packers minus 1.5, total 44.5. So we're getting the rubber match this series, because in the two meetings, Packers won the first game 28-21. Bears won an unbelievable overtime game 22-16 after doing nothing offensively. An onside kick recovery. I mean, it was a miracle. Let me just say that, but they won it. Injury report: Packers right tackle Tom is questionable. Linebacker Edgerrin Cooper, nickelback Bullard are both questionable. Bears, they have some wide receiver issues. Odunze is questionable, but it looks like he is going to play now. DJ Moore is questionable. Left tackle Trapilo is questionable. Nickelback Gardner Johnson is questionable. Now, some more numbers. We already went over the trends, but Packers 3-6 ATS on the road, third worst in the NFL. Bears 5-3 ATS at home. Packers 6-3 to the over at home. Bears 6-2 to the under at home. Sorry, Packers were 6-3 to the over on the road. Bears 6-2 to the under at home. All right, that's what I got for the numbers. This is a tougher game, I'm going to be honest with you, for me to bet. We got some weather. I've heard huge wind gusts, and I've heard some people and some reports say it's just going to be, 5-10 miles an hour, nothing big. Maybe some snow, maybe not. It's going to be cold. I know that one. So I got one best bet. Real quick, while we stay here, I'll talk one lean after this one. But my best bet in this one, half unit play, Jordan Love under 19.5 completions. Plus 100 on BetMGM. I have not bet many completions this year. Maybe one. I do more pass attempts, but I like this one. First, the weather. It's supposed to be really cold, like we talked about. Maybe some snow, maybe some wind. I expect a run-heavy game script here. So let's talk about Jordan Love. As you can see by this OUTLIER screenshot, he's under this line in 10 of 15 games this year. Last game was also from an injury, though. So, again, I don't know what he would have really ended up with. But he's averaged 19.4 completions per game. So right at the average. But here's a trend with this one, which is kind of crazy. In the 9 games they won with Jordan Love at quarterback, he was under this line in 8 of 9. So when they're ahead, they have the lead, and they're winning games, they are a run-first team. And we've seen it all season long. It's when they really fall behind where it's like, all right, now we got to play catch-up. But we know LaFleur, they want to pound the rock. And now we finally have a healthy Josh Jacobs here. I expect them to have some success against this very bad Bears defense. When this Bears defense is not getting a million turnovers, they struggle. And all the numbers show it. So Love is also a guy who likes to take some deep shots. Almost a 9 ADOT. Also helpful for under completions. Maybe he gets one completion for 35 yards. They're already down the field, but it's only one completion. And also they're harder to complete, obviously. But Bears defense, they can get crushed on the ground. There could be a good Josh Jacobs game, but again, this is a weird game because the third time they played each other. They know each other inside and out. They're division rivals, so it is tough to kind of predict what's going to happen. But I expect the Packers to either play with the lead or, they're going to be right there. This game should go right down to the wire, which should lead to less pass attempts, less completions here as well. But in the one healthy game Love had versus Chicago, he had 17 completions on 25 pass attempts. I like it to happen again. If the Bears get out to a big lead, then this one's probably in trouble. But I like this one. Give me Jordan Love under 19.5 pass completions. That is my only best bet right now in this game, and my final one on the video. Another lean I had for this game, DeAndre Swift over 58.5 rush yards. He was over this line in 7 of 9 games before going under in the last 3 to end the year, but they kind of held him back. One to keep him fresh, just 9 and 10 carries the last 2 weeks. In the 2 games versus the Packers, he had 63 and 58, so it was right around this number. But it's the playoffs. So here's the deal: if he's the more effective runner, which he has been lately, he's going to get more carries. There's no need to split a ton of carries with Monangai and all that. And again, Monangai could be the guy that's more effective. That's the kind of trick here. But I think he gets more carries if he's actually running the ball well. And Packers have really struggled. 8 of the last 9 running backs have gone over their rush yards line. Last 2 running backs, Mason 94, Derrick Henry 216, and then Swift and Monangai combined for 108 last time. So with this weather, I see a heavy dose of the run game on both sides. But Swift is a lean. Have not placed it as the best bet. I just have Jordan Love under pass completions. So before we get to that recap now, let's go check out KALSHI and look at the details of this game. All right, let's look into this second game now on KALSHI. We're going to actually place a trade here. We already, kind of talked about all the details of this website in the first game, but also if you guys didn't hear it, of course, the link is below in the description. Use that link to sign up. You get a $20 bonus credit after you deposit your first $100 for this best prediction market on the planet. It's awesome. But anyways, as you can see, the line flipped here. It was a small movement, obviously, but Green Bay is an underdog. Now they're very slight favorites. But we're going to skip past, picking the money line, picking the total. They don't have attempts on here, but what we can do is bet the rush yards. As you guys know, if you guys listen, I just talked about a lean that I liked. Let's just sprinkle a little bit on that lean for KALSHI here. And we're going to go change that to rush yards. And we're going to go to DeAndre Swift. We're going to make sure we choose 60 plus. And we're going to hit that. And we're just going to sprinkle $4 on it. We'll see if I actually end up betting it on a sports book as well. But just want to kind of show you the trade of the day here and how it all works. You hit review and submit, and it's as easy as that. And again, you guys can sell, halfway through the game if you just kind of want to cash out and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, that's what we got for KALSHI. Now let's check out the recap. These are my 3 bets for the Saturday NFL playoff games. Again, we're going to have another video out for the Sunday, another one for the Monday. Panthers, team total over 16.5, minus 135 on DK. It's juicy. But Blake Corum over 9.5 rush attempts, plus 100. And then Jordan Love under 19.5 completions for a half unit as well. So thank you guys for watching. As always, I really appreciate the support. I am jacked up, ready for some NFL playoffs. But hope you guys enjoy the games. Have a great Saturday, and we'll talk to you soon.